Hello, everyone, and welcome to a specially lit late night episode of Good Evening from Korea with me, your host, Overlord Pop Tart. I'd like to welcome you to a land of dreariness, but of satisfied dreariness, knowing that while you did nothing productive with your day, you're completely happy with that. It's a rare feeling. I invite you to partake in it with me, unless it's 5 a.m. for you, in which case, good luck. You'll need it. Let's get on with things. Woke up today at who knows o'clock. What a wonderful feeling. Veterans Day, back home. Got yet more wishes from good people. Thank you very much for them all. I did very little today. Very, very little. Basically just sat in the room. That's okay. Did some cleaning. Was a little productive. There's still some messiness. You can see a box behind me. Some spicy mustard on my table still. I meant to put that meat back in the fridge, but oh well. But a lot of just staying here. But weirdly, I feel somewhat rewarded by that because a lot of my time sitting here was spent playing video games with other people, and that was immensely fun. I got to play with one of my all-time best friends, guy I've known since I was probably 5 years old, from back home, and we made amazing progress and had a huge amount of fun. And he stayed up all the way until 4 a.m. his time to play with me because he just didn't want to stop playing, and I was very much up for that. I mean, it's only 9 o'clock for me. It's not necessarily late. I'm just very tired. Honestly, I don't have very much to update you with, which gives me the difficulty of what do I name this episode? I don't know. So maybe we'll do something a little bit unique. And I'll think of two words to put in the title that are interesting, and I'll talk about them as best I can. Uh, how about, let's see, what are these called? Little trees. Let's talk about little trees. I've always liked little trees. I can talk a little bit about that. Now what else starts with L around here? Lamp. I can talk about lamp too. You'd be surprised. Let me talk about lamp. There we go. Excuse me. You can actually see my lamp a little bit here. A little bit of, ooh, yeah, it's making me look like I'm being eradicated from this world. That's okay. Anyway, lamp. When I was very, very little, I very much liked a cozy feel in my room. I mean, just about everybody does when they're still old enough to have a teddy bear. And in my room, I had two pieces of lighting that made it feel cozier. And that was the classic stick to the ceiling glowy stars. Do you remember having those as a kid? If you do, no, don't like, comment, and subscribe. Just comment. Let me know if you had those as well, because I really enjoyed them. I know I've seen them in stores, and I wonder how many other people had them. Uh, I remember laying awake at night and they would glow, and it was just such a magical little thing to have a little bit of stars in my room. And the second piece of lighting that made it very cozy was a lamp that was very, very old. It was a porcelain lamp, and it had a very low wattage bulb with a very, very yellow glow. It wasn't this kind of, even this slightly yellowish tone, you can see right kind of here, it is yellow and not white, despite how overblown it is because of the camera's exposure. It is a little bit yellow. You can see along the lines of my jaw. Even this is very, very bright, white, and violent compared to my old light bulb. I mean, it must have been a wattage of nearly nothing. And it was just so nice to uh, curl up in bed after a long day and read a book. Because back then I read books. Back then there were books to read. I miss that a lot. I've been thinking about getting more into reading, but I haven't. I should. But that's one of the many things that in my life I should. Like work out. Yeah, that's not going well. Or go outside. Yeah, no. There's a lot of things in my life that I have that are shoulds. And I guess I get distracted with thinking up all of them and never really get around to doing them. But regardless, back to the subject. I always loved that lamp. And I remember I felt so betrayed when my mother traded it out for a brighter one because I didn't feel comfortable in my room anymore. I didn't feel safe and warm anymore in those winter nights. Like just turning that on, feeling that warm yellow glow. I love that. I don't know what it is, but I think lighting is important to the mood of a room, and especially in a room so beige as this. I mean, the light is like bright fluorescent from the ceiling lights. I don't know, it just feels so clinical. Having this lamp here it's kind of nice. It's better than having that main light on. So usually I just work by this lamp light. And the second one, little trees. I never really use little trees all that much in my cars because I never bought like a smoker's car or anything like that. But when my buddy kind of introduced me to them, he had a cotton candy little tree in his car. It was an old Dakota. It was a truck, to be fair. He had cotton candy ones in that, and he would always have a cotton candy one. And so I decided I would get one as well. And so I got lemon for my Volvo when I had that. I showed you that last episode. Now I can talk about having my cars. Um, in the Nissan, I think it was classic new car. It might have been a little bit of black ice. I go back and forth. But yeah, I had lemon in the Volvo. I remember that. It smelled really nice. But I made the mistake of pulling the entire thing off all at once and leaving it in the car on a very, very hot day. And the whole car just stank of lemon heads for like a week. Luckily, I like that smell, but it was so overpowering. I had to leave it for about a day with the windows down just to air out. Uh, I love that time in my life, just doing silly things and realizing that they were silly far too late and just living with the consequences. I feel like once you hit adulthood, you can't be silly anymore. And that's kind of sad. So if you're a kid out there being silly, continue to be silly if you want to be silly. Do strange things, make random noises, go explore, and have fun, because you don't get to do that for long. I kind of wish I had continued doing it. Oh well. Well, I suppose that's my title. Little trees and lamps. Lamps and little trees. Yeah, lamps and little trees. That's probably going to sound better. Um, suppose I'm still kind of a little silly. I've, for some reason, a tiny peanut butter jar that I made because I got bored of trying to get the peanut butter out of the bottom of it. It's been on my desk for like 3 days because I can't work up the effort to actually, you know, use that peanut butter because I think it's funny. Uh, I suppose I bought two off-brand Transformers a long time ago. They're called Deformers from my buddy. One's a Lamborghini ripoff and one's a public bus because I thought it was funny. I tried this today. Remember my second episode, I think it was? That was the ginger beer episode. I tried Reed's. Can't really see it. There we go. Ginger ale. And it's honey and pineapple ginger ale. And it's super weird because you taste all three of those flavors all at once. It's crazy. Turn down the fans there for you so it's not too loud. Sorry about that. There we go. That's a little better. I don't know. I always kind of feel like this should be the level in these videos because this is kind of how I like to talk to people. This is how I feel when I'm kind of at my realest, to be honest. Just kind of talking, saying hello. You know how I always say, I sincerely wish you a good day. Like I really do thank you for watching to the end of the video. I mean that. Um, I believe that all people are worth, your time, worth prioritizing in your life, worth giving a chance. And someone who's willing to give me a chance by watching a terrible, terrible video, um, I'm very thankful for them because they give people chances too. And there's not a lot of people out there in the world like that. So if you're watching this, thank you. And keep being you. It's hard to keep giving people chances after a while, after you get to a certain age sometimes. So if you're still exploring through the internet and landing on small channels and seeing what they're like, giving them a chance, thank you. We, speaking for the little channels, appreciate it. I mean, I'm not in this to be famous or something like that. That would be amazing, but it's not going to happen. This is just something to say hello to my friends and my family. So if you're not one of those two, if I don't know you personally, say hi in the comments. I always appreciate people coming by and saying hello. So I'll try to prove that I'm sincere and say, hey, back to you. Because I care about everybody that I meet to some basic extent. I let you decide if I'm going to continue to care. Some people decide for me that I shouldn't care, and that's okay. If you're one of those people that thinks you have to care about everyone, once they've gotten to a certain point, you don't have to. It's okay to let somebody go their own way. It happens. Anyway, I suppose that's all I have for you. As I said a couple of times, thank you for watching the video. Whatever time it may be for you, whether it be a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night, whatever applies for you, I hope it's good. I really do. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I'm going to try and get some sleep now. So get your sleep, kiddos. It's important. Sleep is the most important meal of the day. This has been Overlord Pop Tart. Stay frosty.